Our next speaker is Marisa DeFranco, who lives and works on the North Shore. Marisa lives in Middleton and has her own immigration practice in Salem, a practice she has run for 14 years. Marisa, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hello, neighbors. As I said, I do live and work in Agnes County. Now, I know everybody in this room believes in... What's that? Agnes County. Agnes County. There you go. You heard it here first. So, as speaking of Agnes, everybody in this room I know believes in the power of Agnes and Alrico, but do you also believe in the power of the people? Right? That is what this election is about. And I am an immigration attorney. I also represent kids in foster care. And where do I work? In people's homes, in people's businesses, and I am a small business. I have the real world, on the ground experience fighting for people's rights and people's jobs and literally people's lives when I win asylum cases for people who are fleeing persecution just because they are gay or because they are women. Those are the chops that I bring to this race, and I can take down Scott Brown in the street where this fight will take place. Now, I am the granddaughter of Sicilian immigrants. My grandmother came here in steerage at the age of 15. My other grandfather worked at the GE, not this GE, but the one in Erie, Pennsylvania. But you know what I'm talking about, being from Lynn and having a company, a good union job, and what that means for the working class and for the middle class. So I am a strong supporter of unions. And by the way, I checked my dictionary this morning. Union is a 5-letter word, not a 4-letter word. Now, what is this election about? Jobs, jobs, green jobs, and more jobs. But we are not going to get those jobs with the way the Democrats are currently shyly and mildly putting the ball forward. Let's get real. The way we are going to create jobs is that the government, being the biggest player on the block, must invest in creating jobs. We don't want just a new deal, we want a real deal. And here's how you start doing it. Payroll taxes aren't going to create enough jobs. You invest $100 billion over the next 2 years, we will create 2 million green jobs. And if Republicans start talking about deficit spending, you know what Democrats say? How much money did we have during the Great Depression? Does anyone want to shout out that number? A big fat zero, right? We deficit spent to defeat fascism, and we are in a crisis again. And once government invests in creating jobs, guess what the private sector will say? Ooh, government's creating jobs, they're making money, they're inventing things, that's cool. We're going to get involved in this because we're going to want to get on the competition, and we're going to get off our dust and spend the $2 trillion that they are sitting on in cash. Otherwise, if the government doesn't move, companies are going to still do the same thing they've always done, and that is squeeze productivity out of the workers, which again is why we need unions. Where do I stand on Social Security? As a Democrat, I say, and I expect all Democratic candidates to say, we are not capitulating on Social Security, and we are not cutting Social Security. It is called an entitlement because we paid for it and we earned it. We don't have to cut Social Security. First of all, it's fluid until for the next 25 years. But guess what? If we raise the cap, people who make $168,000 pay the same amount of Social Security tax as people who make $1 million or $1 billion. Lift the cap, and Social Security will be set for 75 years. And Democrats should be saying that loud and proud and long. Simple thing on health care. It's health care, not health business. My dad is a retired doctor, my mom's a retired nurse, and so I am a candidate in support of single-payer health care. Thank you.